and today I want to talk about Iron Man, the movie, the very first MCU movie that we got this far. I can't believe we made it this far in the MCU, even though we're getting tons of announcements, tons of shows, tons of movies these days, but it all started by a simple movie called Iron Man. It's about Tony Stark, a rich billionaire, kind of snobby. Well, yeah, but he gets kidnapped by a gang, and he's forced to build an iron suit to escape after getting a heart transplant after the explosion. And yeah, I saw this not when it came out because I was a little too young, but I saw this when I rented it at Family Video, rest in peace. And yeah, first time I watched this, I loved this movie. Like, it really is true to like comics. Iron Man's character, that's what I really admire about this movie. It's super faithful and super just like adventurous. Like, I like the chemistry between Tony Stark and this one guy who helps build the armor. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. And yeah, and I love the scene where he's in the Mark 1 armor and he's like taking down the Russians, and he's trying to fly out of the cave he's in, and then the suit just falls apart and he lands in the desert, and he's like trying to find his way through, get back home. And yeah, it's very nice. And yeah, we also get like a few other actors. We get Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan. He's a very likable guy in the movies in MCU so far. He really gets to shine in the Spider-Man movies, but like, this is his early start. Even though Jon Favreau directed this movie, which is very nice, I think he did a good job. And yeah, and it just keeps going. And I like Pepper Potts. Like I like how she's kind of just Tony's businesswoman, and then as the movie goes on, they bond. They really get to like each other, which was nice. And yeah, and what a very marvelous scene I really like is where Iron Man, when he finally gets his suit together, the red and yellow, the one we know today, and he flies to the Russian base and he saves the people who have been kidnapped there and held hostage or slaves or something. Iron Man just straight up kicks these Russian people's asses, and just like, I meant like the gang members, my bad. And yeah, I love the scene, the very iconic scene where they try to shoot at him, but then he just pulls out a missile and just launches at them, and then the tank or whatever explodes, and Iron Man just walks away slowly, which was very nice. And yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is amazing as Iron Man. I mean, that's kind of cliche to say, but like, I really don't think anyone else could play Iron Man as good as him. Like, he's so iconic as this role, from like a greedy man to Iron Suit to saving the universe, and yeah, being an Avenger. And this is the movie that set up the Avengers. At the end, where we see Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson going, "You think you're the only superhero in this world? Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I want to talk about the Avengers Initiative." So yeah, that was a very nice scene. A very post-credit scene that made everyone just fall in love with post-credit scenes. And yeah, every time you see a post-credit scene, you just love it. It's all because of this movie. It made it fun to watch, like, every time you see a Marvel movie. So, yeah. We also get, Terrence Howard as, not War Machine, just not yet, until Iron Man 2. And he's played by, Terrence Howard plays James Rhodes before Don Cheadle. Yeah, after that, I think some drama happened with Terrence Howard or whatever. And that's why Don Cheadle stepped in. I really love Don Cheadle. I think he's a very likable actor. It would be cool if he was in this movie. I mean, I didn't really mind Terrence Howard. He just felt different from Don Cheadle. But yeah, I think this movie is just a really good story. Like, it knows the comics, like I said. It has a good cast. And let's talk about the villain. Ironmonger / Obadiah Stane. He's okay for a first villain. I mean, I like Jeff Bridges. He's cool. I think he's very intimidating in this movie. He definitely dig this role. I like how he turns his the original Iron Man suit into the Ironmonger, and Iron Man built like this laser thing that helps destroy the Ironmonger suit. And there's also this one scene where Iron Man builds another suit that kind of resembles the War Machine armor, and he tries to go to space in the costume, but it causes the suit to freeze, and he has to break free from the ice, and he has to fly. We also get to learn that his test flights, he's slowly learning to be Iron Man. And during the final battle, Ironmonger tries to go into the sky, and the armor freezes, and it proves that Tony has learned from his mistakes. He's learning from the armor. He built a suit where he can go just a little bit into space, but not entirely. Just like in Avengers, where he throws the missile at Loki's command ship, and he's in space for like a second, and he's able to breathe, and then he falls, and then Hulk saves him. I'm getting off topic, but this ain't my top 10 MCU movie. I put like maybe honorable mention, but this movie's just fun. I mean, sure I have some issues with it, but like, I don't know, there's nothing really that bothers me about this movie. Because I wanted to talk about this movie because I was watching it recently, and I've been trying to watch all the MCU movies in order because I always wanted to do that. But I just never really made the time to do it. So, how would I rate Iron Man? 7 out of 10? Like a high 7, a middle 7, or a high 7? Maybe even an 8. I don't know. But, this is definitely a classic to watch. It definitely felt like a 2008 movie. Because we also got The Dark Knight, WALL-E, which is nice. So, So, if you saw Iron Man, what'd you think of it? I really like to know. And, if you want me to review The Incredible Hulk, maybe. And maybe if you want me to review other MC movies, I'd be down to do it. There's some on this channel, but just remember, I am Iron Man, as Iron Man Downey Jr. would say. So